Our lives are cluttered. Every day, we are bombarded by notifications, deadlines, expectations, and the quiet weight of regrets we rarely speak about. The world never pauses, it demands our attention every second, and slowly, without realizing it, we begin to feel heavy. Like a machine that has been running for years without rest, overheating under constant pressure, gradually slowing down from its own overload. Our minds grow crowded. Our hearts grow tired. Yet we keep telling ourselves that we will rest later, fix ourselves later, change later. But what if later never comes? What if you could press a button now? What if you could clear the cache of your soul, delete the emotional clutter, and finally begin again? Ramadan is not simply a ritual or a tradition repeated each year. It is a deliberate interruption in a world that refuses to stop. For 11 months we live on autopilot. We eat without thinking, speak without reflecting, scroll without feeling, react without control. Habit becomes our master, and distraction becomes our environment. Then, Ramadan arrives and breaks that rhythm. When you stop constantly feeding the body, something deeper awakens. Hunger sharpens awareness. Silence exposes noise. The purpose was never starvation, the purpose is clarity. Just as a device sometimes needs a complete restart to function properly again, the human heart needs these 30 days to realign with what truly matters and to remember who it was before the noise took over. Imagine a traveler walking across a vast desert beneath an unforgiving sun. On his back is a heavy bag filled with stones, each one representing a mistake, a bad habit, a regret, or a distraction he picked up along the way. With every step, the weight increases, his shoulders ache, his legs tremble, and eventually, he begins to believe that this burden is simply part of him. He forgets what it feels like to stand upright without strain. Then in the distance he sees an oasis, not merely water or shade but relief, a place where he can finally set the bag down, empty it, wash the dust from his face, and stand straight again. That oasis is Ramadan. It is the yearly opportunity to pause the version of yourself that has been shaped by impulse and rebuild the version guided by intention. It's not just about stopping food, it's about stopping the weight of the world from crushing your spirit. It reminds you that your past mistakes are not your identity and that your habits are not permanent. The reset, however, is not automatic. It happens in quiet moments, especially before dawn when the world is still and your thoughts are no longer competing with constant noise. It happens when you are tired and hungry, yet choose patience over irritation and kindness over anger. It happens when you lower your gaze, when you restrain your tongue, when you say no to something that once controlled you without resistance. In those moments, you discover a strength you underestimated. We often convince ourselves that we cannot change, that we cannot live without certain comforts, that some habits are too deeply rooted. Yet every day of Ramadan disproves that belief. If you can control your strongest physical urges for hours, you can control your temper. If you can delay food and water, you can delay anger and ego. You begin to realize that you are not weak, you are simply undisciplined. As the days pass, the layers of distraction slowly peel away. Cravings soften, noise fades, and the heart becomes lighter. You start noticing how much of your exhaustion was not physical, but spiritual. The clutter was not only in your surroundings, but inside your thoughts. Ramadan clears that internal space and makes room for gratitude, reflection, prayer, and a deeper awareness of your relationship with Allah that often gets buried beneath the rush of everyday life. It shifts your focus from external validation to internal alignment, from reacting to choosing, from surviving to growing. This month is not meant to be endured until Eid arrives. It is a training ground for the rest of the year. Discipline practiced for 30 days reshapes identity far beyond those 30 days. When you leave Ramadan having truly reset, you do not return to life the same way you entered it. You return lighter, more focused, more intentional. You carry less noise and more purpose. You walk differently because you have proven to yourself that change is possible. So when the crescent moon appears, do not approach this month mechanically. Do not simply adjust your meal schedule and continue unchanged. Approach it as an opportunity to rebuild from within. Let go of the stones you have been carrying. Release the habits that have been quietly controlling you. Press the reset button not just on your routine, but on your heart. Let this Ramadan be more than a pause, let it be a transformation. And when it ends, do not go back to who you were. Step forward as who you have become.